So, fried fish and tartar sauce. Who doesn't want to eat that? How do I get that on a menu in a Michelin-star restaurant? Stick around. This is a clever one. So this is how you fillet a flat fish. I've chosen a Plaice to do this with. It's a very simple fish to fillet. There are 4 fillets. There's a way of doing it that's very simple. I'll show you how. You'll see the fish has been cut here already. That's to bleed the fish out to kill it. That happens on the boat actually. What we do, we come round and we just take that off, take the head off like that. Very simple. I use a short, sharp knife to this. Then you'll see down the line, down the back there, very convenient. See that line? Very easy. All we need to do is go straight. You're not going on an angle, you're just running that straight down the back there like that. And you'll feel the backbone, nice and tight, very, very beautiful fish. Start at the bottom there, get onto the bone, and then just pull that fish away from the bone. I'm not using a flexible knife. I do have one here, I will in a minute, like that. This one's a bit more rigid, and that's because the size of the fish dictates that I can do that. And I'm just going in, I'm making sure I'm hitting that bone, and I'm just coming away and down like that, going all the way to the end. And then I turn the knife around, like that, pull the fillet open, and then I can just take it off. Nice clean fillet. There's not very much left on the bone there, can you see that? Then what I tend to do is turn the fish around. I'll go in just over that backbone, with the front of my knife. Look how much of the knife I'm using, that's important. And I just go the other side, all the way to the end, like that, to make sure I've just released it. Then I'll start this end, and I'll just get onto the rib cage, and then just nice, you want stroke that knife back, long, slow strokes. I'm going to turn the knife around again, that way round. I'm going to go through till I come out the other side. I'm going to just run the knife off like that, like so. Nice and simple. So that's one side off, no flesh left on the bone, very simple. Turn it over, exactly the same again. You see that line running down the back? I'll just run my knife straight down the back like that. It's exactly the same on the other side. One of the easiest fish to fillet, I think, is a nice flat fish like a Plaice. Exactly the same, of course, with a brill, same with a turbot, same with a halibut. They just get bigger and they get more expensive. When the fish gets bigger and more expensive, I would just level up the size of the knife you're using to make sure you're getting that done. So once we've got that off like that, we take the roe out. We don't want that. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a quick fish stock. So that goes in there like that, very quickly, with a little bit of white mirepoix. So some onion and celery goes in there. And we're going to make a very quick fish stock. So that goes in there with some water. That goes on. And we're going to boil that for 15 minutes only, and then pass it off and hold that stock. Very simple. The amount of flavour that we'll give from those fish bones are incredible. Right, now we've got the fillets off. We've got all 4 fillets there. We'll run our finger down, find a guideline of where we are, and then we can just run the knife through like that. And all you're doing now, get to a place where it's comfortable, and then all you need to do is move the fish, not the knife. Skin comes off, and the fish is like that. I'm using very meaningful cuts with a sharp, small, controllable knife just to get through there. And when we get to the end here, I don't want this kind of white stuff on, so I'm just going to even that off at the end, take that off there. Nice, clean, sharp fillets like that. Okay, so we're going to panne, or what is commonly known as breadcrumbing that fish. We do it slightly differently. A couple of things. We've got the flour, we've got our eggs, whole eggs whisked up, and we've got our breadcrumbs. Sometimes we use egg whites, but for this one I'm going to use the whole eggs. But we're going to do a couple of things. Some chopped tarragon, chopped parsley, chopped chives. They're going into the eggs. This is a bit of an Andrew Sawyer trick actually. My wonderful exec at Brown's, he does this and I love it. He does it for all his deep fried fish, which I think is fantastic. So that goes in the egg, makes a big difference. Adds a real lovely texture and a flavour to that fish. So that goes in there like that. The other thing we're going to do is season the flour really well with lots of salt. So the flour's seasoned, the eggs have got some nice herbs in there as well. And so that panne is just elevated a bit further. And breadcrumb wise, we're going with panko, which is that sort of Japanese honeyed breadcrumb. They give a lovely colour, so I use that as well. So we're not panning in a normal way. We're actually just going to go one side. So this is how we get that slight refinement, and then we can pan fry that fish rather than deep frying it. So only one side, a little bit of flour, dust it off. Into the egg it goes, one side again, like that. Out it comes, see that? Straight into the breadcrumb, press it down. Start again, we go into the flour, dust it off, into the egg, we go into our breadcrumbs, and just rinse and repeat. It's just a really nice way of doing it. And this is just a bit more refined than completely coating it and chucking it in a deep fat fryer. This is how we sort of elevate that to a slightly different level and pan fry those fillets. So they're just a bit more elegant and they've got a bit more of difference to them. So there we go, there's our fillets like that. All I'm going to do, press those down, put a few of those breadcrumbs in my bowl, press those down like so, and I'm just going to pop them face side down like that. What I quite like to do, pat the breadcrumbs on and just shape the fish a little bit like that and just hold those there. They're ready for pan frying now. Basically what I'm doing is tidying up the edges, and you just sort of think to yourself, well, why would you do that? Actually, you wait to the end and you've got nice sharp edges, you won't realise the difference it makes. Right, that is ready for my pan. But first of all, I'm going to make a quick sauce. It's all about this tartar sauce, but serving it warm, let down, slightly more refined and elegant for a restaurant. Okay, for the first part of this warm tartar sauce, we need to make a mayonnaise, a very simple, basic, classical mayonnaise, and this is how we do it. Done it many times on the channel, those that have been following me. Listen, I do want to say thank you for following us. It really does make a huge difference. And if you are not liked and subscribed, please do like the video and please do subscribe because it really helps the channel and we really appreciate it. Nice lemon juice. That Dijon mustard is in there for emulsification. That's what's going to keep that mayonnaise nice and tight for us as well. So put that in there. In goes the egg yolk in there as well. Right, all we need to do now, blend those together. Let's put some salt in there as well. Get all that in the beginning, you know where you are then. It's in there already, it's embedded in the sauce. And whisk that up. You can do this by hand, but I prefer to do it with a machine because I want a really, really tight mayonnaise for this one. So in goes a bit of Chardonnay vinegar for sweetness and acidity. Break down all of that vinegar as well. I'm doing this by eye, but if you look through my YouTube channel, you will find the recipes for this on there as well. Right, get that up to a nice little foam, get that going, get that really working up. That now is our emulsification that will then hold on to the oil. So it's those proteins in the egg that will hold on to this simple, neutral vegetable oil. You could use a rapeseed oil, you could use a nice vegetable oil, but don't use olive oil because it will be too strong and too bitter if you use too much of it. And you just want to rein that in. They call it reining in. So that's just very gently pouring that in, like so. You can do this by hand, do it in a bowl. I would generally do that, but I want a mayonnaise that is thicker, overly thick, that I can let back down again with my fish stock. So don't go any quicker than that with the oil. What you can do now, about halfway through, 3/4 way through that oil, I'll probably stop now and I'll just scrape that down. See how that is now turning into a mayonnaise? Look, that's an emulsification going on there. That's now going to take more oil and we'll just get thicker and thicker and thicker basically until we can't take any more oil. Right, mayonnaise. We don't need all that, but my guys need it, so I'm doing them a favour. So that is mayonnaise. We're going to put that in a bowl. We're going to now let that down and make that into tartar sauce, and we're going to cook our plaice. Let's make that sauce, right? So we've got our quite thick mayonnaise. That goes in our pan. Into this goes all the tartar ingredients that we already know. Everyone knows this, right? So nice capers. I have fried those capers very quickly in a dry pan. Just takes out so much of that acid and the pickle of those capers and just gives you the lovely texture in there. In goes chopped tarragon, chopped parsley. I think chopped tarragon is an absolute must in a tartar sauce. Shallots, not diced too small either and kept raw, really important. They go in there, and obviously cornichons, gherkins, whatever you want to call them, they go in like that. They're really important. So that's the basis of what would be a tartar sauce. And all we're going to do now is take that incredible Plaice fish stock. That's come down to that level now, so it's intense, strong, it's fishy, it's got all that amazing flavour. That's going to go in there now and let that down. And all we're going to do is just bring that together, and we are going to be able to warm this on the stove actually, believe it or not. Right, that sauce is ready. Now what we need to do, we're going to warm it up at the end. We're going to get on with our lovely Plaice and get that cooked. Okay, so I'm going to start this in a simple oil. This is just like a pomace oil that we use for frying meat and fish in. But you want quite a lot of it in there because you're starting with breadcrumbs. You've got to be very gentle. You've got to make sure that those breadcrumbs don't burn from the beginning. The pan needs to be hot enough that it doesn't stick, but it mustn't be too hot that it just burns or colours those breadcrumbs really quickly. So once it's at a little bit of temperature, pop that fish in like so. I'm going to season the other side of the fish. So if you see this here now, how it's only just frying, I'm really confident we're not overly colouring those breadcrumbs. We are starting to cook the fish through. If you go quicker than this, you're going to have a problem, right? So you've got to be very slow with it. Trust the process, nice and slow. Then we're going to add some butter as that caramelization happens, and we're just going to cook the fillet through. This is a beautiful way of cooking flatfish like this, and but it does need pan control. You can see the fish starting to go white, right? See that white there? That's basically cooked through now at the bottom there, right? So it's starting to cook through. So I think we're about 2 or 3 minutes away. What I need to do is get a bit of butter in there. That's going to add to this pan some more coloration. It's going to add a bit of richness. It's going to give our fish that sort of crispy fried feeling. All of this is like on a little ecosystem timer where the butter needs to be brown, the breadcrumbs need to be crisp, and the fish needs to be just cooked, just cooked. So that's what we're looking to do here. Get all that time together at the same point. I'm making it sound like it's complicated. It's not. You just need to be in it and on it and present, and you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I am going to very simply pop that onto there. I'm going to move this pan here and slightly warm up my sauce. I'm just going to turn this fish over and let it sit for 1 minute while I warm my sauce up, and we'll plate it. And that's just going to set the reverse side of it, all right? All right, so over it goes like that. Yum, yum, yum. They also stay whole as well, right? It wants a little bit of lemon juice. Anything with butter and richness and fat like that just wants a little bit of lemon juice. Right, there's that lovely warm tartar sauce. It's not boiled, but it's hot. And I like to flood the plate with this. Then on goes Plaice like that. Nice wedge of lemon. What more do you want? Okay, so there you go. That is my breaded Plaice with a warm tartar sauce. It's simple, it's elegant, but I think that's how you elevate breaded fish with tartar sauce into a really high-end restaurant. This is a winner. Should be on every menu.